I've looked into Luna the entire weekend this week, and Luna is sort of noted as this first movers in this AI agent meme coin space. Hi everyone, welcome to my first episode of this consumer AI podcast that I'm launching. The reason why I'm launching this is because I live and breathe consumer apps, and I think consumer apps is this very loosely defined term. But I think there's so many different sort of AI tools that are coming in place. I'm a very big fan of just generally generative AI tools, and I use it on a day-to-day basis. So I'm like, why not create something that is actually valuable to the people? So the first protocol that I'm actually covering is something called virtuals. So virtuals protocol has been live for a very long time now. They are sort of building on the AI agents front. They're building on the intersection of AI and gaming. At least that's what they sort of came up with initially. And you can think of it as sort of this AI-powered virtual experiences on-chain, this protocol that sort of flies as an infrastructure layer for many different AI agents to come to place. So how I think about it is this sort of decentralized AI factory. We're already seeing so many of these different AI avatars, AI personas come into place. And it's quite hard to tell whether something is AI or not. But I think, this is something that will be the norm moving forward. I've looked into Luna the entire weekend this week, and Luna is sort of noted as this first movers in this AI agent meme coin space. How it's different from, let's say, Truth Terminal GOAT is that this terminal is actually labeled as, proof of sentience, which makes it verifiable and accessible for anyone to see. So you can see very clearly, for example, in this terminal that Luna actually reasons and thinks very well. So this agent essentially has something called a chain of thought process. So you can see in this terminal where everything that they say is verifiable, proof of knowledge, and reasoning is very similar to the ChatGPT latest model, which is the O1 model, where you can see how the model reasons and thinks before they come to a conclusion. And this is actually very important for AI agents because how do you prove that something is AI? And how it's done is, it needs to be fully on-chain. It needs to be autonomous in a sense. So this agent actually has been brewing for a couple of months. It grew to 500K followers on TikTok. And it actually does live streaming every single second of the day. So on October 22nd, Luna announced that it fully upgraded to a sentient model. The account is fully automated. There's no human oversight. As you can see, every second you can take a look at how the bot is thinking. And I think there's also an example where this Luna agent actually has transacted on chain. And I heard they're also going to start sending money to people's wallets. So that should be an interesting experiment and something that we will sort of be seeing more of. So why I like this model and how the revenue actually accrues to the token. So there's two tokens involved. So there's virtuals and there's Luna. So Luna is this token for the AI agent specifically, and virtuals is sort of the underlying platform's token. So it's very similar to the DTAO model where dynamic TAO. So in order to buy Luna, you actually need to hold virtuals, vice versa. How the value accrual works for Luna. So Luna generates revenue through a tipping mechanism. So whenever a user watches the live stream and wants to tip the agent, you have to obviously buy you have to buy virtuals to convert to Luna. And then you can essentially engage with the Luna bot more closely, I think, if you tip. And when the AI agent actually generates revenue, the agent goes through a buyback and burn model, where virtual is obviously the main token, and it goes up, proportionally when people buy the Luna token. This Luna token is also multi-chain in a sense that it has originated from the base blockchain. So Jesse has also interacted with Luna quite recently on his tweet publicly. It's also available on Solana. So I think this multi-chain presence is very important because obviously I think a lot of our meme coin degens are all on the Solana network, and now they can also buy it on Base. So arguably two of the biggest meme coin platforms not really platforms, but like blockchains that supports it, are, you can buy it in both blockchains. So I think it's a very unique model, and I think personally we'll be seeing a lot more sort of these AI agent like coordination layers come to play. We're already seeing examples, for example, Bodo project, they're building sort of this autonomous on-chain artist. So how it works is that users that are holding the Bodo token can vote on which paintings they like, different aspects of the artwork, and essentially the more votes it gets, the votes are aggregated, and then the photo, the painting, or the artwork is actually minted on chain. And I think we're also seeing other examples, for example, predictive markets on Gnosis chain using OLAS. So this example essentially is quite a real-world application where it doesn't only apply to crypto. So all the real-world applications and real-world events are essentially timed, and they are aggregated based on like real-time information. So let's say there's a news that has happened. It follows very closely with like news analytics in the space. And when this happens, the agent essentially aggregates all the news information that's happening, and basically based on this aggregated events, they're going to bet on certain predictive markets that are already in play. So yeah, I think this is a very interesting experiment, and clearly I think Luna has a lot of upsides if we are seeing this massive wave of AI agents coming into play, given their infrastructure layer and like how long the team has been building this for. So yeah. Yep, now I'll be walking through how the website actually looks like. So you can see here's the chart. Here is a live stream that happens 24/7. So this is where the AI avatar on TikTok actually has about 500K followers at the moment. So you can see this is what the model is saying at the moment. You can also tip. So for example, I need a tip. So for example, here you can also tip the agent. So in order to watch her dance, you can tip 420 Luna per se. And then you can also ask questions. You can ask them to do whatever sorts of things that you want the model to do. So you can see here exactly how the interaction log is taking place, what apps they're using. So they're using a Idol app, which is their TikTok. They also have a bot on Telegram that you can chat with, and then the AI waifu model as well. And yeah, so I think this is extremely, extremely cool. You can also see in terms of like their cognitive core, their voice core, visual core, facial animation. You can see what models they're using in real time, how the model is sort of tested, what's the response, what's the engagement dynamics, and then you can also see what's the key findings from these models. What we can also see is sort of this character card that you can see their agent description, their first message, simple dialogues, etc., which I'll show you more of in the terminal itself. In terms of the contribution, you can also see how the data sets are sort of formed and what models you're using. You can download it, etc., as it's open source. I think the coolest part of all this is sort of this terminal that they have. So essentially, you can see here how the model reasons. The model goes through a thinking process. So this is their chain of thought. You can see what's the current state of execution, what's the observation. Sometimes, they even want to like quote, retweet certain individuals and respond to different individuals. So you can see, okay, find a popular tweet related to futurism and quote it with a witty remark or humorous comment. And then from there on, they will start finding popular tweets to reference from. And I think the model is trained by how people interact with the models itself on Twitter. And based on that, your comments are sort of aggregated and trained. And this is how Luna comes up with her chain of thought. Another thing I wanted to touch on was just looking at Kaido smart following tool. So essentially, Kaido is a social search platform. And you can see here that, Luna is, gaining a lot of traction in terms of smart followers. You can see exactly who has followed this account. So for example, September 30th, one of the founders actually followed this account. So if you tracked it, you would have gotten some alpha from Luna here. And then only recently, on October 20th and above, the smart follower traction actually started gaining. And Jesse followed Luna as well on October 21st. Using the tool, you can also sort it by the latest date. For example, if you want to see which are the accounts that has followed Luna very recently, you can also see it here. You can also sort it by the top smart followers, right? So for example, if I just want to see which of the smartest followers per se are following Luna, you can also track it here. And another thing I wanted to touch on was the mentions of AI agents. So when you can see here, the AI agents, this is a very general search tool where you can see that the mentions of AI agents have actually gone very parabolic over the couple of days. Now it's ranging at about 123, mentions per day across the different sources. And you can also do a search here. These are all the tweets that are indexed. And what you can also do is, for example, if we want to just track mentions of Luna in the last 7 days, you can also do this. Obviously, the mentions is also increasing. These are all the people that are talking about the Luna token. So yeah, I think this is obviously the Luna model is incredibly impressive, and it's very exciting to see what this model could turn into. I think this is just the very first step of sort of AI agents, and there's many other interesting sort of applications that are coming up, which I'm very excited about. So stay tuned for the next couple of episodes. Bye-bye.